And I'm going to start today more as an advocacy for the shit that they say you need it. So I'm going to bring l'choira, why did they say you need it? As we learn in the Gemara and Poskim, if something was destroyed and burned, became afra ba'alma, as the lotion of the levush, the isur porach memena, the isur flew away from the product. So why do you need? So l'choira, I came up with the 5 reasons why did they say you needed it. So let's start and see if it holds any water. L'choira, the first reason, it's what the Rosh says. Even by what the Gemara says, when you burn the chametz, if you eat it, even though it's eshes, even though for the kula alma it's afra ba'alma, for you achshavei, it becomes for you food, and if it's a food, it's osur. So l'choira, they maybe hold if you eat those vitamins, and even though you swallow them, the vitamins or the medication, l'choira, the whole it's called maybe achshavei, and if it's derivative of chometz or any other non-kosher product, maybe it's osur, and like the Tas says, it's midrabanan osur, because if the isur flew away, how it becomes back osur by you eating it? There's no isur over there. Midrabanan. Okay, so maybe they're machmir. That's why the whole that on Pesach you should not have the non-kosher, if it's not known to be kosher, medicine or that's already a whole another styrofoam that we did already. We're talking about now specifically about vitamins and medication, and I mentioned before, I'm not talking about the sugar-coated one or the chewable one or edible. I'm talking about the one you swallow. So that's one reason maybe they come up, since the Rosh says achle achshavei, if you're eating it. So by them they think maybe if you're consuming the medication orally, it's called achila. Memela it's achshavei. Memela it's have to be kosher. Second reason is maybe why they think the Gemara in Pesachim Daf Chofei Amud Beis, the Gemara brings a story of Ravina that he made for his daughter an anointment from Goharki the Orla. Goharki, as the Rashi says, boiser, which is a very young, unripened olives. It's from Orla, which is Orla was not allowed to eat, and Osur Bahanoeh. And he made for her some kind of oil to anoint on his daughter. And they question him that, how could you do that? So it's l'chora, it's v'shlo b'mokem sakana, it's osur. So there's 2 answers the Gemara gives over there. One, it was mokem sakana, she had a very high fever, and it's mokem sakana. And the second thing the Gemara says over there, it was shaloi kederech hana osur. He gave it normally. What you do with this, it goes through a process, becoming an oil. You're going to Beis Habad, they press it. He didn't do all this. It was shalok derech hana osan. It's like a shinui. That's mutar. It's so possible that they take those 2 answers to be machmir, like the Rosh bring, that if you have no sakona, even shalo kederech hana osan, it's osur. If it's not sakona, if you're not masukan, your sickness is not dangerous one. So even shalok derech hana osan, if it's derivative of isur like orla, it's osur. So according to this would be if somebody not severely sick on Pesach, check somebody that's not talking about somebody has high blood pressure, that's mokum sakana, or high sugar level, or other things that he could skip few days. We're telling him on Pesach either skip or make sure it's kosher le Pesach. That's maybe a second reason what their reasoning why do you need kashrus. The third reason, I'm all saying now advocacy for them. The third reason is there is a Ramah in Simon Peizain in Yeredeya. He says one of the methods of making cheese, they're taking the oir hakeva, they're taking the skin of the keva, the stomach, and they make a cheese on it. It would be isur basar b'chalav, and if it's a keva from tameya, you have a problem with the whole cheese done on something non-kosher product. That's a keva of tameya, of non-kosher animal. So the Ramah brings over there, if they took the keva and they dried it up, they made it completely dried up, no moisture over there. It's ba'alma, it's became like a piece of wood, then you're allowed to do it. Because it's ba'alma, it's not anymore fleischig or anything. It's eitz. It's piece of wood.
It's even better than gum.
Right. It's eitz no. The shach over there brings it's only b'di'evet, not lechatchila. So maybe they hold of here also if the whatever the derivative of non-kosher product chometz, even you before Pesach you burn it, destroy it, you make it eitz ba'alma, a piece of wood, lechatchila lechoire, you shouldn't do it. So they want you to be yoytze Pesach lechatchila, telling you not to use those vitamins or medicine. Okay, the fourth reason maybe they have, there is, we learned already over here before from the Rambam, and Mashma the Rosh is masking with the Rambam, even though the Tur and some poskim didn't paskin like this, but the Rambam says when we say you're allowed to have benefit from Isura Hanoah, that the word destroyed, the Rambam says there's exception to it. He brings two exceptions: Basar B'cholov and Kilayim. Why don't you bring Orla? The Orla and Kilayim, it's the same thing, but it's another reason why. But Lamaisei, that's what he brings. Why? Because the Isura Hanoah, we're not allowed to have any benefit from Basar B'cholov besides eating it, something Kilayim. And something would be Orla, that Rosh brings the Orla. Rambam doesn't bring it. But anyway, so anything that's Isure Hanoi, you're not allowed to have benefit. Even after you destroy them, you should not have any Hanoi from them. According to this, maybe the Chashash, those people, they're careful, the vitamins and the medicine should be kosher LePesach. Or vitamins kosher the whole year, people buy them. Maybe it's the chashash, maybe it's the derivative of Orla, Kilayim, Basar B'cholov, one of those Isurim, which is that even it's destroyed, you're not allowed to have Hanoah from it. So that's another kav zchus for them. The fifth reason, maybe why they think you need kashrus on Pesach, because Pesach people are very machmir. It's known. Pesach people are very machmir. Pesach is chomor. The whole year, a lot of people, vitamins they would buy the whole year kosher, but medicine, people don't care for kashrus during the year. Only Pesach, they're going to this list, that's a few hundred pages of list educating you what you call by you dangerous, and what the medication is kosher, not kosher, and maybe for Pesach people want to be machmir. So I want to go now and answer all these 5 reasons that they're not good reasons, and you don't need kashrus for them. So I'm going to start with the last one. What you're saying, Pesach, it's more chomor. So happened to be in the medicine, what we need kashrus in the frum world, in the medicine industry. There is 3 levels. A, we're afraid maybe it came from a non-kosher animal. B, we're afraid it's gelatin capsules. It looks like people during the year when they're not machmir on the medicines, they take any medicine, nobody checks if it's kosher, nobody asks for OU on the medicine. Gelatin capsules, many people don't take unless it's kosher. So there's another. So by people's mind, the least chomer one, it's animal derivative. Then worse than that become gelatin capsules, and even worse than that, that's Pesach looks like, because Pesach it's the most chomer. Pesach, you don't want chometz. The emes is al pi halacha, the easiest from the 3. It's Pesach, and it's poshet broad and poskim. The reason for it, because the gelatin capsules, they're coming from the skin of the animal. They take the juice of the skin, and we're going to see legabe meat, it's a lot easier than the meat itself. The other, if it's derivative of chazir or non-kosher animal, it's chomur, but it's not as not Pesach is even easier. Why? Because they have shem isur on them. Before you destroy them, the chazir is a chazir, it's osur. The non-kosher meat is non-kosher, it's osur, and the capsules from the gelatin, it's also came from the skin of the non-kosher animal. Pesach during the year at 100% kosher. Chometz during the year, it's 100% kosher. It's no shem isur on it. So if you destroyed the chometz before Pesach, when Pesach came, that chometz was afra ba'alma, piece of wood, a piece of dirt. It was never have Shem Isur on it. So mitzad chumra of chometz, the chometz, the Pesach, which was destroyed before Pesach, it's the easiest. The chazir, the Shem chazir before, you just try to nullify it by destroying the product. Something the gelatin, the capsule was came from
So you're
Isur
saying
of skin.
if you were to burn some chometz and you had the ashes and you put it in the water and drink it on Pesach,
Oh,
it's not
so
a problem.
that's over there. We already said. The Rosh said if you turn it back to a real food, you eating it. It says it's called achshavei. It will become osur, as the Taz explained. With Rabbanan would be osur because now you're showing to you it's back to food, to you at least, by eating it. But we're going to talk about if that's called eating vitamins and medication. But all I'm saying is mitzad the halachas, the severity of kashrus, if the chometz or the chazir or the meat or the gelatin was destroyed before you consume it, the chometz would be the easiest because there was never osur during the year. So when it came Pesach, it's still a piece of wood. It's still not osur. It was never chometz. And Pesach.
If one had more reason to be a problem, it would be the first two, not the chometz.
Very good. So the chometz, so medication that people, so that takes away the taina number 5. The more chomor Pesach, adrabah Pesach, it should be the least chomor compared if it's come from a chazer for the year.
Not meaning the gelatin ones.
The gelatin, should be number 2. Number 1 should be.
I'm saying there are medications that have the gelatin on Pesach also. You mean just
saying you could have it on Pesach too, you think?
Yeah, if it's mutter the whole year, yeah. Right. So again, the worst would be if it's a derivative of chazer or basar, tameya or non-kosher product, because it was a isur and you destroyed it. Then gelatin, it's easier. I want to say it now. Why gelatin? It's easier than the chazer or meat, which is people more machmir on gelatin, because the gelatin is derivative of the skin of the animal. The Gemara in Chulin Daf Kufid Zayin on base talks about it. The skin on its own merit, or the karnaim, the horns, or anything that's not edible, it's not osur. The reason the Gemara asked the skin of the animal when there is a meat on it, it's called shomer lepri. It's protecting the meat. So while it's with the meat, the skin become also osur because of the meat. But if you separate it from the meat, it's not anymore. It's become like a piece of horn. There's no taste to it. So mimela, and the gelatin is derivative of the skin. So you don't know in which point it derived, and then you have to find out if they destroyed it already. That juice of the skin, if it's destroyed already, it's not anymore bar achila. But by people though, gelatin is more also. So like this. So let me go by order of here. So mitzad the 5th taina that Pesach it's chomor. So Pesach is the easiest. Like I said, there's no Shem Isur on it. Now, the 4th reason we brought that maybe we're afraid it's coming from Kilayim, Orla, or Basar B'cholov, there's absolutely no concern over there. I'll explain why. It says in Yeredeya, Alocha, and Siman Pei Zayin, Se'iv Gimel, that Basar B'cholov, it's only shayach by kosher product. Kosher milk, kosher meat. The minute is one of them is not kosher, whether the milk is not kosher or the meat is not kosher, it's not shayach isur Basar B'cholov. Basar B'cholov, don't eat two together. That's on its own osur to eat. The milk is, if it's treif, it's osur to eat. If the meat is treif. So Mamela is not shayach. So which company will make you, I'm not sure if they do anything with Basar B'cholov. If they will do it, they're going to go buy kosher milk, kosher meat. They have to be out of their mind to do that, just to make you a medicate that's osur. Elamai, they bought, if they did it already, it was non-kosher meat, not kosher milk, or both or one of them. Mimela, if it's not kosher, it's not shayach Basar B'cholov. So Basar B'cholov, Mimela, if it's not some Basar B'cholov, you've no Isura Hanoah after it's burnt, after it's destroyed. Kilayim and Orlam, it's also like this. Kilayim, by the Orlo, it's brought also in Yeredeya, Siman Reish Tzadik Dalet, Seif Tes. It says like this: Orlo b'chutz la'aretz mutar. If you have over here, you are not allowed to plant it. But if a goy planted a tree over here, it's an orla. If he's selling it, when you go to the marketplace to buy fruits and vegetables, you don't say, "Do I know there's a kashrus that's not orla?" It's mutar. Even it's orla, for you, it's allowed to eat it. So Mamela, if you're afraid they made a medication out of orla, it's mutter to you. You know, the Gabe Kilayim is brought in Reish Tzadik Zayin Seif Dalet. In the Chutz Oretz, you're allowed to do even a Yid Kilayim Lechatchila. So Mamela, so there's no problem of that the tree we said Ramam in Rosh Machmir, if it's orla, Kilei Kerem, or Bosar B'cholov, Bosar B'cholov all over.
Right.
Orlo now. Very good. So now you bring a good point. That chutzala, you ask, okay, so Mama in Eretz Yisrael, maybe some vitamins came from Eretz Yisrael. So the klal is called the porish meruba porish. So Meila to go to such a scenarios rechoikim. Maybe it's from Eretz Yisrael. Maybe it's all. Maybe it's so many suffix fakes. So Meila is no problem. So those three is no problem. It's no orla, basar b'cholov, kilei kerem. So the only thing left to us to deal with if it's come from a non-kosher animal or a chometz product. Okay. So we go now to the next time that they have.
Yeah, I don't know.
A what?
Really?
Okay. Let me. What was? Yeah. So we refuted
4 and 5.
4 and 5. Oh, so we're going now to the third one. Okay.
Sunday, every Sunday. It's all to me. Remember to stay with you.
Yeah. Okay. The Gabe Torah Taina, let's say they're going to say they're concerned with the shita of the shach. Shelechatchila we're not allowed to do what the Ramos said. You're allowed to do cheese on an oira keva that's become eitz ba'alma. Lechatchila not to do it. So maybe lechatchila we should not make vitamins and medicines that made out of the non-kosher derivative. Lechatchila we should not. So there's two answers for it. I didn't do the medicine, I didn't do the vitamins. To me, it's b'diavad. When it comes to me, and the Rama says it's mutter, so it's mutter to you. It's not that I went to the factory and I made.
Are they made in kavas?
What?
Are the medications made in kavas?
I'm saying just even it's made. I'm trying to refute every time that they might have. So it's b'diavad. When it comes to me, it's b'diavad. And another thing I want to is another reason. Even I would be myself manufacturing medicine and vitamins probably would be allowed to lechatchila, not the oira keva. But oira keva, there is an element like you're reviving it back because when you put on it, making does its function. Its function becoming to life. You made it etz ba'alma. Now somehow you put on a cheese. It gets the moisture of the cheese and it makes the cheese. It's going back to its original function. So Mamela, there's a shtickle like the Rosh Achshava. You're eating it, you're reviving it, you're making it food. Over here also the keva, the stomach of you dried it up like made a piece of wood. Now you're going back to the function. Why they make the cheese on the keva, on the stomach? Because the stomach has something there that could make a cheese fermentation. So Mamela over there it's also lechatchila because it's going back to its original form of keva. Mamela it's a basar b'cholov. Or it's treif. Masha Enken, when you destroy a chometz, or you destroy kilei kelem or orlo, anything else, or even basar b'cholov, it's not going back to its function. It's now a piece of wood. They're giving you a piece of wood to eat. So Mamela, so the third time it's also refuted. Now, the second taina they have. What's the second taina? The story with Ravina that he anointed his daughter with the boiser Goharki the Orla, and there was one man the Omar. It's Shalok Gedarkoi. They take the two man take the Chumra. It should be Shalok Gedarkoi and Sakanas Nefoshes. It's true over there. It's Shalok Gedarkoi, but the food was not destroyed completely over there. It was not destroyed. It wasn't kedarke. The derech to go through a process, making it the oil out of it certain way. He did it another process. Memela, that is osur. But when it's completely destroyed, it's not even the story of Goharke the Orla, because over here it's completely destroyed.
It's more destroyed here than what he did.
I'm sorry?
You think what he did was
In his case, he did not burn or destroy the oil over there. He just didn't do the regular process. It's called shalok kedarko. It's only b'mokem sakona mutar. It's osur. In our case, all these vitamins and medicines destroyed before you get them. That's it become etz ba'alma. It's no problem. Even shalom b'mokem sakona. The first taina. Let me just finish, and I'm going to get to all the questions. The first taina was maybe by you eating it, consuming it, it become achshava. You converting it back to food. When the Yad Avram brings over here, that's the Ramo, and I'm finishing with this. The Ramo says clearly, if you take a sheretz or any isur and you burn it, it says, here, muter listref sheretz, oy shar dvar isur. Any isur, chazir, sheretz, bosar tome, anything. And then you're allowed to eat it. L'refuah. Afilu choyle shen b'sakona. So, very good. So he brings over here Yad Avram. Somebody questioned the Minchas Yaakov question. It should be allowed bichlal, even the shalosh any sakana bichlal. So he says over there. Oh, it says like this. He says he brings now the time of the rosh. When we say achle achshavei, when it's looks like you eating it, but when I take it for medicine, there's a raya. I'm not doing it as oichel. When I take it as a vitamin, I'm not doing it as food. That's on its own a raya. It's not achshav over here. I revived it. I made it back food. It's not food for me. It's a medication for me. Mimela, people take medicine. Nobody, like I said in the previous show, nobody eats medicine for breakfast or vitamins for breakfast. They take it as a medicine. So that's on its own a raya. It's not achshav. If there's no achshav, I don't consider it food because I need it for health. Memele, that tiny, the consuming vitamins, it's called achshave. That's not called achshave. Memele, if it's not achshave, it goes back to a piece of wood or a piece of dirt, and it's mutter. And the last thing to add to it, we will learn in Hilchas Pesach. I brought this. The halacha says, if you bola matzah yotza, if you swallow matzah you yotza, but if you put around the matzah sieve, which is bark, it says lo yotza. Because that's not even, because there's two inyanim over here. If you eating it b'shinui, or the food itself, it's a food, or b'chal, it's destroyed. By the matzah, when you swallow the matzah, even though you didn't eat it the regular way, but the matzah is food. But when you put a bark around it, so you don't have the two elements. You didn't eat it b'derech achilosai, and the matzah itself is not a matzah, because it's wrapped with some paper or some bark. So memele, by vitamins, are the same thing. The vitamin itself, it's not any food because it's completely deformed, destroyed, or the medicine, and you also don't eat derech achilah, so you swallow it by matzah layotza when you swallow matzah with the bark. So memele, it's absolutely. I don't see any reason the vitamins, the medicine, or even the gelatin capsules. Like I said, among the three, the gelatin in the middle. It should be a problem. If they're completely destroyed from achila, nobody eats them, it's not edible. If you look online, Mordi helped me before Shabbos to see that they say over there, they tell you, don't eat it, this gelatin that's made as a capsule because it's not oichel anymore. So if it's not oichel, it's not derech achila. Yeah, don't eat the gelatin.
In the process, before they form it into a capsule, it's inedible.
So all of those things, again, you're going to see some machmir on it. Some people machmir, but I don't see no reason whatsoever to be machmir on any of them because they're not roi lachila.
But it loses its once you chemicalize it once, you lost it. Because it's no longer, you're not having a derech achila. Okay, let's end this.